Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming out this morning. Before we begin the speech, let us tell you a bit about ourselves. My name is Jaime Ferrer. I have been working at Deloitte for 8 years now in the areas of malware analysis, digital forensics, and incident response, and also in SOC monitoring. And nowadays, as manager of the detect and respond team. And today I'm joined by Juha, with whom I have the pleasure of having been working for the last year, and to whom I give way for him to introduce himself.
Thank you, Jaime. So my name is Juha Heikkilä, and I have been working with Hoxant for 5.5 years, so pretty much from the beginning. And currently, I'm responsible of our strategic partnerships and channel sales. So with Deloitte, we have been actually building our partnership for a couple of years, and we have been working with the Jaime's team, Deloitte European Cybersphere Center, for about a year.
Thank you, Juha. So during this short time we have, we would like to start by telling you about our partnership, how it came about and what we do together today, and then give way to some very interesting content that you have brings about how HostHunt sees the topic of awareness and phishing security. The solution we are talking about is phishing reporting, whose objective is to be able to massively perform the analysis of those suspicious emails that security solutions fail to stop, but that users think are suspicious. So adding a second layer of security that allows us to be proactive to stop an attack in the work arc or company with a simple report of just one user. And that's funny at all, because we always say that the users are the weakest link in the chain. But in this case, they are our best asset to identify the threat. The idea of the project was born due to the need of our clients to provide a solution to the users or employees when they report an email and add them as part of the SOC monitoring and analysis. From our side, with more than 10 years of experience in manual and automatic phishing and malware analysis, we wanted to take advantage of this capability to bring synergies between the different teams in an automated way. So we can provide our customers an ad hoc protection, generating much more targeted intelligence than we can get with other tools where we process much mail campaigns, which are more standard or default intelligence. So finally, why HostHunt? When we start considering the development of the solution, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. And we conducted a benchmark in which HostHunt stood out for having much more capabilities than the others, also ideas that can be very well exploited for host mitigation tasks. And finally, also its agility and proximity in the deployment of the button itself in the email solutions. And yeah, with this brief introduction, I give way to Juha to give us his malleable concept about awareness and phishing security from the point of view of HostHunt.
Thank you, Jaime. So in this presentation today, I will reveal a couple of tactics, how we are helping enterprises to reduce cybersecurity risk and build sustainable behavior chains. We will go through the tactics, but first I would like to go through who Hoxant is, what is unique for us, and why actually companies come to us. So since day one, we have been focusing on people-first security behavior chains. Our founders started Hoxant back in 2016 because they found out that most of the companies are doing poor job of reducing the risk that comes from the humans. So most of these companies were doing some kind of security awareness training, mostly for compliance purposes, but the training was not leading to the behavior change, and as a result, the risk was not going down. And for the last 6.5 years, our customers has seen amazing results in this area, and we are actually able to drive that behavior change. What they usually see is radically lowered fail rates from the training simulations that we send towards the employees, exceptional engagement rates that are leading to impressive detection rates, which creates that needed transparency and efficiency to Jamie's Security Operations Center team. So why this is actually important? As we know, people continue to be #1 source of risk, and Verizon's latest data breach report announced that actually 82% of data breaches involve human element. And even the latest analyst community states also that 69% of users knowingly take unsafe actions. Those users have been gone through some type of awareness training, but they still do dangerous things. So this is quite of a big deal if the traditional methods are not working. So let's explore a bit deeper. What are the user challenges? Why companies are not able to decrease the human risks? One of the primary things we see with the traditional awareness training is low engagement. Usually employees only are getting trained when they fall into a training. For example, by clicking the link or opening attachment from the simulated phishing email. Usually you reach and train only few percentage of the users, and the training is experienced as a punishment as you need to fail into a training. And funny thing is that before Hoxant, the simulation failure percentage often was the primary and the most followed KPI with phishing simulation programs. That actually might lead into a problem that the security team or the awareness teams are focusing on sending easier simulations in order to meet their targets with the lower fail rates. So let's take an example how it impacts and how you see that this from the numbers. So if you have, for example, 1,000 employees and you are sending out quarterly simulations, so 4 simulations a year, and if you are able to get down to 2% fail rate, this actually means that you would have total of 80 fails from the phishing simulations per year. So that means that you only have 80 training moments total from the whole 1,000 user organization. So you leave most of the employees without any training. And those kind of unchanged and easy simulations itself exposes organizations even towards bigger risks. So as we all know that the risks, techniques, and sophisticated online services are evolving, it helps actually the advisories and criminals to do more targeted attacks towards your company. Solution here is that you can move beyond awareness and behavior change by training with simulations that are super realistic and customized to each of your users, for example, using their language, role, and the location that where they're working. In addition to that, we have a team within Hoxant that analyzes over 80,000 real threats reported a day from over 130 countries. So we have the visibility to turn the latest attack trends and most serious threats into an updated training content and simulations in as few as 2 hours. So we are able to get really high detection rates for these more advanced simulations. So usually over 75%. And what we see is that we get 20 times lower fail rates than the organizations used to have before Hoxant. So this naturally leads into efficient real threat detection. So we are able to do this because of an use of artificial intelligence towards each of your users So we are able to build individualized training paths that are becoming more challenging as those users become more experienced. So over time, their skills get progressively sharper. And also, when the user starts to report real threats, we at Hoxant are able to do real-time analysis of it and give them just-in-time training based on what they report. Related to actually this slide over here that you're able to see, we know that every one of your employees are just a bit different levels with their skills and understanding and identify different kind of threats. So we have found out that companies are not able to actually manually build and run these programs. So we have built a system that can automatically, as a service, do this for you. Our automated engines takes into account behavior science that helps the user with the right level of difficulty from the training. So you are able to build motivation for the user when the training is not too hard and not too easy, but just hard enough. When you have hundreds or thousands, or let's say hundreds of thousands of users, you are not able to manually build this kind of program. You need to outsource these tasks to a machine to create value and save resources. All our training and simulations are delivered in a fun and game-based environment that drives extremely high engagement rates. So you remember that example of the failure-based training where only 2% of your users are getting trained. So that was that you are able to have 80 training moments per year for that 1,000 user organization. So with Hoxant, users are actually getting micro training when they fail, but also when they are successfully identifying a phishing simulation just by pressing an add-on. So with our automated game engine and positive engagement, we get on average 70% of your workforce actively reporting those simulated threats. So automation enables us to teach the users about the latest threats out there on average in every 10 days. So if you have, for example, 1,000 users and you train them by the automation on average in every 10 days, that actually leads to that we are able to deliver together almost 26,000 bite-sized micro trainings per year for your employees. So when you are investing to train and engage with your employees with a fun and game-based way, you are able to turn your critics into contributors that are motivated part of your cybersecurity posture. So that is what our customers have been able to achieve by working with us. Actually, change behavior and reduce true risk. And that behavior change goes beyond just limiting the human error. So these companies have been able to turn each employee into an extension of their security team. So each of these company employees are in the forefront of searching for and reporting those hardest to detect threats. And those are the threats that are actually getting past your technical layers. So each of our customers has been able to build super sophisticated human threat detection engine that really helps Jaime and the team efficiently protect the organization from the risk of cyber attacks. So here's the outcome. So just summarizing this. So you want to measure how many people are actually engaged. You are going to build an intelligent human detection layer that can identify the threats that are going through your technical layer. So that is how you can evolve your people from being the greatest risk to your greatest resource. Jamie will next go through and describe actually what happens when the employees have reported a malicious threat.
Thank you, Juha. Finally, going back again to the phishing report project. With this slide, what I would like to do is to briefly outline what this idea or our project consists of, and how we deal with the large volume of reports received after the users click on the report button. Host Hunt provides the ability to deploy the button in the company's email solution, and it will immediately appear to all users. Once a user identifies a suspicious email, they simply click on the report button and can choose various options about the actions taken with the email, such as if they have accessed the URL, execute a file or an attachment, or even enter the credentials. All of this is very useful for further mitigation of the threat. Once the report reaches Deloitte, it's processed by our SOAR system, which applies a layer of intelligence to perform the triage by analyzing the headers and body of the email, as well as extracting the URL or the attachment, which are analyzed by our tools, phishing analyzer or sandboxing automatic system, which are able to identify the type of threat, its family, and IOCs in case of malware campaigns, or its target in case of phishing. All this information is also added to the SOC monitoring list and also to the MIS platform in order to identify other users who receive the campaign later, as well as a retro hunt can be performed to identify which users have already received the campaign and directly eradicate the threat from the company. So that's how between Host Hunt and Deloitte, we are trying to use the users and employees as that second layer that you have told to provide more security to the companies and do not trust just in technologies to stop in the first way the campaigns. So, well, we hope that you enjoy our speech. And if you have any questions in English for Juha or in Spanish for me, we will be glad to give you an answer.